During the ending cutscene, I accidentally pressed the X button at a certain point, and I wondered to myself if I accidentally skipped a cutscene as a result. And it turns out that I did. Let's roll it. Click. The fucking face when he forces that smile is really fucking depressing. So there you go. That's the ending to Heirs of Rage. You might be wondering, Mark, isn't there a better ending? Well, yes indeed! We're gonna fucking roll that shit now!
Hey, it's me, Marky Joe, here to entertain you. Yes, it is my show. It exists. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
Yeah. Alright, so my strategy here is to bait her into using Oblivion, which just worked. Hurt. Ooh, baby. Yeah, so I want to bait her into using that because it has one range. Ooh, goddamn. He is fucking unloading on her. Hot damn. Now, here's the thing, is that she'll have the Wrath, but, like, because I can do the rescue drop trick, she's not gonna think to, you know, pull out any of our other spells, which are much better. I also want to show off this quote. I mean, why the fuck not? Yeah, definitely not silent. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly my opinion of her. Oh, damn. Yeah, so it's worth noting that Avraxis finished this game while Mari and I were still at odds, which was for several months, and we only made up very recently. So, I don't know, I'm kind of curious to see, like, you have to factor in the context, I guess, of what's going on here. Okay, I've seen this before. Please get a critical, please. Yes! Oh my god, thank you. That's like over 100 damage. Oh, it's still not enough to bring her down to like normal people HP though. Oh. Oh, they can talk! Interesting. Say B, it's replaced with John Cena or... Oh, jeez. Yeah, what have you done, Hurt? You fucking brilliant person. Let's just fucking do this shit, then. Use the Kesar. Basically, the solution to this entire game, use Cadet. It's worth noting that Avraxis is going to fix her, though. He's gonna do some balancing. Because obviously the game isn't perfect in that regard. Okay, so now is the... Next turn is when we finally unload on her. We just fucking unload really fucking hard. Yeah. a bit anticlimactic when you figure out the trick. Wait, hold on. Yes! Oh, yeah, baby! That's what I'm talking about! What better way to end this playthrough than with this shit?
Take a closer look at that snout.
Oh, yes. What a poetic way to be defeated.
Take a closer look at that snout.
With memes. Oh my god. Alright guys, now for the true ending, I guess. So are we gonna revive Avraxis? Because his memories are in the fucking computer. I don't know how you're gonna guarantee that. You might have to fucking kill her. Bullshit powers? Oh shit. Seriously? I hate to say this, but if somebody was, you know, about, like, if they were dangerous enough to destroy the world and there was no way to contain them, I think I'd be on the sides of yin and yang here. Yeah, of course she'd refuse. Uh-oh. Wait, did she disappear or? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, he takes after his father. I give people the benefit of the doubt, and they fucking... In most cases, it's like, you know, they appreciate it, and they really do improve, but you really have to show how much you're putting on the line with them, or else they don't fucking appreciate it, and then they walk all over you. And some people are just dicks no matter what. Yeah, so this is a real happy ending, as you can tell. What quest are we gonna do? Hot damn. I mean, I'd be okay with just protecting the world once, thank you. I think I've done my part. Oh shit, are we gonna get to see portraits of all of them? CG? Oh, he's looking at the sky. Of course. That's how I want it. I want my kid to find his own answers and think for himself. Okay, so the names of the kids, Yin and Yang, is Dawn and Dusk. That's their real names. Oh, what did he leave at the Aurora? Did he leave, like, I don't know, a picture of Olivia? Avraxis' waifu? And now we get a bunch of art. Oh, and there we go. After the battle ended, F set it out to score the air, look for Mari, new materials. Okay. She borrowed a fishing ship, and the government is still out looking for adventures for the great pirate. Oh, damn. That's a good picture. Music from Stolen. I'm sorry. That's funny. Cadet started an academy to train monks. With Cadet leading, monks would never be the laughingstocks of GBA Fire Emblem games for the era to come. Over the time, she began to warm up to her peers and students, becoming a kind of mother figure to many aspiring monks. Aw, that's cute. Oh, she finally showed her face! Why the fuck do you think you're ugly? You look like everybody else. Everett started an information network all across the cheap realms. He had used the information to have an easy life selling classified information like the Crocs. He also sold photos of Aster and Fluffy animal pajamas. I'm sorry, I really shouldn't be reading this. Lead animator, Avraxis. Oh, how could I have guessed? In hopes of expanding your knowledge that could seal astral being, and was voted student with the cuddliest hair. Oh, definitely. Ah, look at Ryukaze. Ah, Aster's just like, yeah, whatever. She's totally unaware. Oh my god! Shibiraxis, holy shit! Began to become the tank of blue lightning. Oh my fuck! That's fucking badass looking right there. Yang returned with Ying to gather clues about okay. She opened the dancing dragon with okay. Her memes shook the world to its very core. Oh shit! Patricius is still good! He's still living! Actually, oh, Yin returned to the Hermitage. Okay, with the help of Everett, I traveled the world in cheap realms. I like to hunt down every sighting of After beings. Aurora altar at around dusk. Oh shit, without the mask now. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so I guess he's, you know, the Aurora machine, or whatever the fuck it's called, is kind of like a grave when you think about it for Avraxis. Wait, I didn't finish reading that shit. Returned with Mark to the. He learned of Mark's life and trained hard to recruit. His aptitude showed when he went toe to toe with the legendary sage himself. After which he set out with Aster to gather the other children from one more quest. I'm sorry, but this has sequel written all over it. Thank you for playing. Well, thank you for making this wonderful game, Avraxis. That's what I gotta say about you. All right, so I guess it's time for me to express my opinions, unless there's a final cutscene. Hold on to hope there will always be another chance, for you are the chosen one. I'm just filling it in. Oh, Heirs of Rage! Oh, snap, title drop! And there we go. It's done. Ladies. Okay, so I'm going to be reading from a script, so bear with me as I stutter over my own words. So now has come the time for me to present my final judgments on this game. If it wasn't clear enough from the footage, I really enjoyed Heirs of Rage. There's so much about it that you can appreciate. The story is fun and carefully thought out, and for most of it, I was not able to predict what would happen next, which kept it very refreshing throughout the entire length. The characters are likable, sympathetic, relatively fleshed out, and distinct from each other, And that's really good because that means there will be at least one character in the roster that will appeal to different tastes. And hell, most of them will appeal to most people anyway because they're just so well written. The art and animation? Well, what can I say? Avraxis is an artist by trade and it shows like all hell here. Not only is the art innovative in the context of Fire Emblem fan games, which, by the way, I think this opens up the way for people to experiment with new art styles to use in Fire Emblem fan games. But it's also just, like, his art style is just very appealing to look at. The animations are a huge improvement in smoothness over his previous Fire Emblem game, Tales of Pert, which is impressive, especially when you consider how annoying animation inserting can be in the Fire Emblem engine he used, which was FEXP. Lastly, the music choices, while not original compositions, were very tastefully chosen to fit the game, and there was never a moment where I felt the music didn't fit the current scene's atmosphere. In my opinion, Heirs of Rage is one of the best Fire Emblem fan games I've played. I'd say it's up there with Midnight Sun. And honestly, while Avraxis has thanked me for playing this game and giving him more exposure, I think I'm the one who should be thanking him for putting so much care into what is essentially a love letter to me and Ragefest. Avraxis accomplished more than just making a game. This is one of the most popular series on my channel. It brought in new subscribers, made me a lot of money on Patreon, and hell, Avraxis is one of my patrons. I believe that Heirs of Rage will have a huge influence over the future of my channel, particularly with the upcoming Ragefest 5, which is titled The Enragement Ring. And speaking of which, it's worth noting that because Avraxis is part of my Fire Emblem project team, he was able to learn the title of Ragefest 5, which allowed him to incorporate the whole Enragement Ring idea into his story. So, when Ragefest 5 comes around, be aware that its title and premise did not actually have Heirs of Rage in mind, but the other way around. But needless to say, Heirs of Rage will definitely have an influence on Ragefest 5 because of the relationship and also because it was just fucking fantastic. Anyway, with all these nice things said, there are only a few things I didn't like about Heirs of Rage, and because of the strength of its stories and characters, I don't feel any of the flaws are bad enough that I would tell people not to play it. Nonetheless, I'm gonna point out my criticisms for the sake of fairness, because as much as, you know, this game is, you know, just this nice love letter to me, I'm aware of my own biases and I had to take some time to look it over objectively. So, really, I have maybe 2 complaints. 3 if you count the balancing, but whatever, that's easy to fix. I'm sure he'll have that figured out by the next update. So, number 1 is that despite Avraxis being an incredible artist, I've noticed that he kind of struggles to make his maps look good aesthetically. This is kind of hard to explain, but like some areas of the game, such as Chapter 4, look kind of janky. There's a bit of tile spam here and there, and it's kind of jarring, and some of the tiles he uses don't flow well into each other. Like, sometimes he'll use map tiles that don't look good next to other map tiles, and I think Chapter 4 is kind of another example of this. Either that or 5 or 6. Just like the castle tiles I use, like, they don't feel like attached to each other sometimes. It's weird. It's kind of weird to explain. The other complaint I have is, well, basically the complaint that everybody expects me to say at this point. The level design is kind of weak. I'd actually argue that as much as I felt at the start that the level design was an improvement over Tales of Pert, I'd say that overall, as a whole package, Heirs of Rage actually has weaker level design than Tales of Pert. Chapter 1 and 2 are relatively complex compared to the latter chapters in the game, since Chapter 1 demands you move quickly to move your 4 team members together, and they have the reinforcements timed just at the point where you bring them together, and, you know, it's interesting. It's not super interesting, but it's also the first chapter in the game, so that's understandable. You want it to be easy. Meanwhile, Chapter 2 has this whole, like, choose your path gimmick, with each path having a different stationary enemy setup that you need to navigate through. So that's kind of cool. Chapter 2 also has that really nice, like, Myrmidon and Mage setup near the end, where you have to find a way to kill the Myrmidons quickly before the mages close in and wreak havoc. And after you kill the Myrmidons, you have to set yourself up so that you can kill the mages with ease on enemy phase. So it's pretty strategic. So chapter 1 and 2 are fine. However, after that, the chapters get really easy and uneventful. Chapter 3 basically involves you bait and switching halberdiers until you reach the chinchilla vein that allows you to access the boss. And once the boss is defeated, there's a lot of extra unnecessary fat, such as the secret pathway, which could have been cut down to make the chapter feel more concise. Then you have chapter 4, which kind of has the same problem, but in a different way. Chapter 4 kind of suffers that typical Fire Emblem hack pitfall where you're getting rushed on the first few turns, then the rest of the chapter is bait and switch. The whole midsection to that chapter could have been cut out, and the time limit that was set up in the chapter, you know, with Kohai or whatever the fuck his name is, that was pretty negligible because the chinchilla vein slows him down so much, and he's just so slow in general that by the time he gets anywhere near you, you've already beaten the chapter. So lastly, we have the final chapters in the game. Chapter 5 and 6 both suffer from enemies that are both weak and positioned in ways that make them ineffective against the player. When you defeat them, you're basically spending the next few turns rushing up to the boss, and then slowly whittling down her health. Mari isn't a very challenging boss because unless you forget her skills and don't plan ahead on how to deal with them, she's basically cake. Obviously, I didn't pay attention to the skills and shit, and it bit me in the ass, but bear in mind that when I'm commentating, I have to keep moving forward so the gameplay remains interesting. So I don't have as much time as a normal player does to think things through. I know people criticize my gameplay skills in Fire Emblem, but I'm much better at the game than I seem in my commentaries. Especially if you actually give me something that's difficult, then I fucking step it up. So anyway, Avraxis is gonna update the game in the future, which means he might apply some much needed level design fixes, but even if he didn't, I still think this game is fantastic and worth your time. I'll let you all know when the game has been released publicly, and I think that's all I gotta say, so peace out, Bob.
I need someone to review my FE hack. He needs to be someone who won't cut me slack. It's Murky Joe, he's arrived from his golden chariot, and down he walks the road grows again. What the hell you got, Murky Joe? These ambush launches don't do it for me. In this class I should be cut by 3. Murky Joe. Uploaded his playthrough, commenting on all my faults and my breakthroughs. Then suddenly the attention my hack gets keeps rising. Even the king wants to play. That's some good advertising. Murky Joe. Choice you really should think twice, but hot damn, these portraits sure look nice. Murky Joe. Na 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 na.
pack is ready for release. It gets thumbs up from me. Masterpiece. Murky Joe.